Hey everybody, this is Ruby Electric back with another video. This is just a update on my tool rig. I've made some modifications to the actual bags, my setup. I've changed out some tools. I bought some tools. I'm experimenting with stuff. I just got done cleaning this out. I completely emptied it out. Took out whatever little bit of trash I had in there. I took my air compressor and blew all the pockets, get as much dust out of it. That helps out with making your bags last a lot longer, because all that trapped dirt will start fraying all this webbing. So I'm gonna try to make this video as quick and short as possible, even though I like to talk a lot. But anyway, so starting with this side, this is the biggest modification I made. On the previous video, I still had the pouch, the pocket that comes on this main pouch, on this pouch, and I cut it off because it stuck out about 3 inches or so. It was about the size of this, and I like it obviously because I can put my straps there and my fittings in here, but because this is an open pouch with some pockets in there for tools, and I liked it, but since it did stick out, it would get caught on grid or even on the lift, getting in and out of the lift, and on a single man lift, turning around in it, it was just in the way. So I cut it off. I added a small pouch on the front and a small pouch on the back. Another modification that I did to the sheath that I made out of 3/4 inch PVC for my sheetrock knife, I modified it a little bit more and I bolted it onto the side. So I'm gonna start loading this up with the tools that I'm now carrying. Most of them are the same, some of them have changed, but I did modify that, so now I can just put my sheetrock knife there, whereas before on the previous video I was having it in that pocket. So now this has freed up an extra pocket, so that just slides in there perfectly. All I did is I took a heat gun to a piece of 3/4 inch PVC pipe and molded it to the knife. If you work Kydex or know somebody that makes Kydex sheaths, I'm sure they can make you something a little bit better, but this was free and easy. So on this side pouch, I will start with the outside pockets. So on this furthest outside pocket, that's where I carry my Allens. I have all my tools spread out over here on this side. So I always carry my Allens because every time I try to take them out for weight savings, whatever, I always end up needing. Now that I've mentioned the weight savings, I want to clarify something, because on the last video, I was getting a bunch of people commenting saying about how heavy the rig is and bad for your bag and all that. I know that, and I mentioned it in the video before, but I didn't emphasize on it, so I'm going to on this one. When it's fully loaded, it weighs about 20 to 25 pounds, and that doesn't sound like a lot of weight. Anybody can curl 25 pounds all day long, but it takes a toll if you're wearing it on an 8-hour or 10-hour shift, and I get that. I have all this on this rig so that when I walk onto a job, I just walk onto it with it in my hand. I set it on the floor, walk the job with my project manager or the customer. Once I figure out what needs to be done, then I'll take out whatever tools I don't need if I need to be wearing the rig. If I'm not having to wear the rig, I did buy this Milwaukee 7-pocket pouch. I did modify it. I cut off the strap that goes through your belt and clips onto the back. I digested a Tough Built pouch and put it on this one, and I carry a Clip Tech on my belt so that I can just put this on there. And I really like this because I can just pick out whatever tools I need for the job, put it on here if I don't need the full bag. If I'm not working on conduit with, then I need all these extra pockets. So I get the whole being heavy and all that. So that's not, I don't carry the full load all day long. Anyway, so now that we got that out of the way. So my Allen's go there. Next up are my impact bits. And I did upgrade from the 3.5s. I have the 3.5s on this pouch now. These are the Klein 3.5-inch impact bits. I really like them. I recommend them. You can find them on Amazon. But I've upgraded for the main rig to the 6-inch long ones. I still carry my 6-inch adapter. I have my number 2 Phillips, number 1 Phillips, and then I have a number 3 Phillips. Because every now and then I find myself needing it. And then number 2 square and number 1 square. My number 2 square for set screw connectors. My number 1 square for receps and light switches. So 6-inch bits, they are the Shockwave, so they should last a long time. I haven't had any issues with them. The number 2 Phillips is the one that gets used the most, and so far the bit is holding up pretty good, so I do recommend those. On this third pouch on the outside here, I was carrying my 6-inch nut drivers, impact nut drivers, and I bought these. So these are new. On the last video, I still had the Weehall, I believe. These are the new Klein ones. Well, there's even a newer version, but these are the new Klein ones. These are the ones with the magnets. These aren't the hollows, because they have a new version. So as you can see, these have a solid stripe. The new ones have I think 3 or 4 small stripes, and those are hollow. So if you have a stud or a sleeve anchor or something, then you can use that. With these, you have a magnet that obviously doesn't allow you to go any deeper. But these are really nice because the magnet gets bigger with each size. So obviously the 9/16 magnet is pretty big, and you need that because as the bolt gets bigger, you know, from a 1/4 inch to a 3/8 bolt, it's going to get heavier. So you need a stronger magnet. Here's the 7/16. I have a 7/8 or a 7/16, or a 1/4 inch bolt with the 7/16 head, and it holds it. I mean, this thing will never shake off. I can grip with my fingertips, and you can see how much force I have to put. If I grab it from the very tip, I can't. I mean, it takes a lot of force to pry it apart. So I love these nut drivers, but it comes at a cost. They're pretty heavy. They're, I mean, quite heavy. And so what I did, or what I found, is this this Klein, Milwaukee has one now, but this Klein flip socket, and this is a paper clip compared to this. So I'm giving this a try. I'm gonna set these aside for now. These are tried and true. I love them. I have no issues with them other than they are heavy, and I am trying to save weight, even though I'm not gonna wear this rig fully loaded out, but still trying to save weight. So I'm gonna set these aside, keep them here at the house, and see how I continue with these. These are pretty cool because obviously they're just flip sockets, so it's got 1/4 inch 5/16, 3/8, 7/16, 1/2 inch 9/16. They have a different version that had, instead of the 9/16, they have a 11/32, but this is what I need. This is what I use. That's what all those are, from 1/4 to 9/16. So obviously you go from 1/4 to 5/16. If you need a 3/8, then you just slip that on, put away your smaller one, and this is impact rated, so it can go on your impact. So I'm gonna continue giving this a try. So far so good, and obviously it saves a lot of weight. So that goes on the front. So that's it obviously for the outside. On the inside pockets, I always carry my 2-channel locks. These are the Knipex, these are 10-inch ones. I love these. I talked about them on the last video. Highly recommend them. Definitely worth it. They will do all the way up to 2-inch pipe on a, they won't be the strongest grip, but if you're there on a pinch, they'll work up all the way to 2-inch. On this third inside pocket, I bought this new Klein pass-through multi-nut driver. So this one, that it's kind of hard to get out of there, but it comes with a different size. I took it off because I don't have any need for it. It was a 5/16 and an 11/32. I don't have a need for a pass-through on those sizes. But so on this side, it's a 1/2 inch. So when I'm dealing with 5/16 all thread or 5/16 bolts that the head is sticking, or the stud is sticking out, a 7/16 for 1/4 inch all thread, and then a 9/16 for 3/8 all thread. It also has a 3/8. So this is how I have it set up, and it also has a 3/4 inch size here. So I highly recommend this one. Super light. I had the old version, which wasn't passed through, and that thing was super heavy. This thing is light, so I'm loving this right now. I'm always changing tools. I'm a tool whore. I'm addicted to tools, but that's better than being addicted to drugs and alcohol, I guess. So that's it for this side, and so far so good on how light it is. Since I'm on this side, I'm gonna go ahead and put my tester. So I got my T6 1000 Pro. I'm still loving it. I highly recommend it. On this side of the pouch, we'll start again. We'll start on the outside pockets. So over here on the front, I have my Ox Tools carbon pencil, my Milwaukee ink saw. Over here on this other outside pouch, I have my 6-inch Klein level. Highly recommend this. I spoke more about these on the last video. I am gonna go ahead and do an individual tool review, since obviously I've had a lot of these tools for quite a few years now, so I can actually attest to the quality of them, if they're good or bad. On this middle outside pouch or outside pocket, I have my Frogger. This is the one with the display, so it tells you your voltage, and it tells you if you have an open ground or neutral, instead of the 3 light and having to remember what's what. It just tells you right there. It's a GFCI tester. I did modify this, so if you buy this rig and have these tools and you wonder why some of that stuff doesn't fit, I always modify my stuff, and so on this one I took a file and I smoothed off the first rib. It's got some ribs here for grip. I smoothed off the first set of the first set of ribs, and that allows me to slide this in, and then it catches on that next rib, and it doesn't go all the way through, because obviously that pocket is deeper than that tool. So that works out perfect there. On this last outside pocket, I have my stud buddy. I always carry this. This weighs nothing. So I always carry this just whenever I need to do a cut in, make sure that I'm not gonna hit a stud. And then my tick tester, and this thing, guys, don't ever trust this thing to verify voltage. This tells you nothing other than there is some voltage present. It could be ghost voltage, so these things are that sensitive where they'll pick up some ghost voltage. If you have a loose neutral, it'll still pick up voltage, but you're not gonna have the correct one. So I mainly just use this for my switch legs. So if I'm identifying switch legs, you know, I'll put this on a wire and have somebody flip the switch on and off and see if I'm on the right switch leg or not. So don't ever trust this for making sure that stuff is live and with the correct voltage. But I mean, it's got it does its job. It's got its place. So on these small outside pockets, I have my 4-in-1 turning screwdriver, and then my low volt snips. And so these are great. I love these things. I would use these for data, for Cat 6, and for fire alarm when I first hired on at this company. That's what I mainly did. Now I've just been doing high volt jobs. And so on the earlier video, or the past video, I talked about how I use these to strip MC or cut MC. And I'll give you guys a demonstration. So let me cut this end off over here. Because a lot of people were commenting also on that why don't I just use the MC strippers, that tool with, you have to crank it and it cuts into the sheathing without damaging the wires. I get it, that's a specific tool for that. But this is just the way I do my MC, and it works. I've never damaged it. So if it works for you, then just keep at it. So what I do is I just bend it to where the ribs, the grooves snap off. It does not damage the wire. Then I just twist it to where it opens it enough for me to slide my snips in there. And then without a whole lot of pressure, it just cuts it. And then I can just slide it off. No damage to the wires. The plastic isn't even cut. And then I can just strip the plastic off and cut it. And that's what's cool about these. These things are awesome. They're that sharp where they can still cut that plastic like nothing. And I've been stripping MC with these for years. So I highly recommend them. That's how I do my MC. Judge me, criticize, whatever. That's just how I do it, and it works out. Just getting this out of the way. I said I cleaned out the pouches. So now moving on to the inside pockets. I bought these heavy duty strippers. I was carrying the others. Here's the set. I bought this because I thought it was cool. It's got the American colors and it's got the American flag laser etched on there. So that's pretty badass. That's why I bought it. And it was actually a set. It came with the side cutters. I mainly needed side cutters. My last ones, I messed them up. I trusted somebody saying that the breaker was off when it wasn't. So when I went to go cut the wires, it shorted out and it damaged my side cutters. Excuse me. So anyway, these are badass. These are, I mean, just the style of them. And the reason why I switched them from my previous one, which were all blue handle like this one, is because I used them to cut a stainless 8/32 bolt, and it just messed them up. Like there's a spot, not these, but the other ones, there's a spot where it just feels real stiff, and I've tried to work them, and I just can't get them to loosen up like they used to be. But I bought these, and I can cut stainless bolts with this, on the 8/32 or 6/32 all day long. They're a lot thicker, they're heavy duty. But what's really nice about these that I hadn't noticed when I bought them is the cutting blades are curved on these versus these. They're slightly curved, but they're a little more straight. So these cut through copper like butter, and so that's one downside. These are not lineman replacements. These are just heavy duty strippers, and these do copper on them, but they do have the lineman head on them, and so you can strip and twist with the same tool, and that's why I carry this now. You can twist up to 4 wires with this, maybe 5. But so I'm really liking those now. So those go in that front inside pocket, or that edge inside pocket. My side cutters go on the one next to it. I still carry my lineman because you're always going to need linemen for cutting heavier stuff, or as a hammer. So I always carry my lineman there. My needle nose, same thing. Always gonna need a needle nose because when you think you don't, you're gonna need it to reach into, let's say, a Seal Type 90, just where the little head of the wire is sticking out. You can grab it and pull it through. Over here, my beater, this thing is still going strong. I'm waiting for this thing to break or whatever, and I'll get the metalhead one, but this thing's still going strong, so it goes there. And then another change of as far as tools is on the last video, I had this extended multi-bit screwdriver, and I loved it. It was working out perfect for me, but the flathead broke on it, and I did have an issue, which was completely my fault. I shouldn't have been doing that. Luckily, nothing bad happened, but I was using this to tighten a breaker on a panel, and when I went to pull off of the breaker, the bit stayed stuck onto the bolt that attaches the breaker to the bus, and luckily I was able to get it out without damaging anything. It didn't fall and arc out from face to face, but that was my fault. I should have been using my insulated screwdrivers. I was just in a hurry, didn't want to go out to the truck. Lesson learned. Luckily nothing happened. But anyway, since the flathead broke off, instead of replacing it, I just got dedicated screwdrivers. And surprisingly, even though there's 4 screwdrivers now, they weigh the same, if not even just a tad bit lighter than the multi one. So even though this was just a single one, it's surprisingly, I mean, it's about the same as far as weight, but these are dedicated, these are stronger, so it's a better deal for me. So anyway, the Phillips goes in the very front. Next to it is the flathead, 1/4 inch flathead. Next up is the number 2 square, and then my trim screwdriver. Excuse me. And then here's another new addition. So this actually this handle came with the flip socket. So that's the set, how it came. I went ahead and bought a Klein impact reamer. I'm loving this thing, but I found a perfect use for the handle. So now this is my reamer, and it's the same size as the dedicated reamer. But the benefit of that is if I'm doing a bunch of conduit or a multi-line layout, I can take it out, put it on my impact, and it saves my wrist. It's a lot faster. And so this is how I carry it. It's a pretty nice setup that goes there. So that's it for that side pouch. I've got these 2 pockets up here. On my right hand side, I keep my calculator. I talked about this earlier. Definitely get one of these and check out my video on how I use it to calculate offsets if you want to be a better bender. I forgot my file. My file goes in this pouch too. There's a small little pocket that it fits in there perfectly. I always carry the file because when I'm doing unistrut or rigid or whatever, it's just there ready on hand. Up here on this left side pouch, I have my adjustable square, and this thing comes in hand. I've talked about how I use it when I'm making repeated marks on junction boxes, disconnects, whatever. This comes in hand for a lot of things. So I always carry that, and then I'm still carrying my 16-inch Stanley measuring tape, and I'm still rocking the Spider belt clip, still going strong. The spring on it is still working, so I recommend that. And then I am trying out this new, or I guess not new to me, this tough built um, drill holster, and I'm really enjoying it. So previously I was just using the belt clip that comes on the impact with this belt clip, and it worked out. But one thing I didn't mention in the last video is every time I would set the bag down, especially put it in the work truck, it would push the impact up just enough and it would fall. So that was pretty annoying. So when I saw this, I was like, I'm gonna give this a try. So far I'm loving it. It holds it in perfect. Now I don't have to dig around and try to find that belt clip. I just drop it and it settles into place, and that snaps in right there with the clip tech system. So that's how my rig looks. And again, this is how I use it to walk into a job. That doesn't mean I'm carrying the full weight like this, but every tool that I need to do any job is right here. Now all my specialty tools, like my large cable cutters and strippers and stuff like that, then yes, they're in the truck, I have to get them. But for the most part, this is how I have it set up. I'll go ahead and put on the rig just to show you how it looks. But I'm very happy with the system. I'm happy with the setup. I hope this helps a lot of you guys that are still trying to find your own setup. I am waiting on a delivery of new shoulder straps or your belt suspenders. They are the gator back ones, and they have the same gel padding. These are just like foam padding. So I'm gonna try those gator back ones and let you guys know what I think of them. They should be a lot more comfortable. And I mean, this is a full load. This is all 20, 25 pounds, whatever it is. But I mean, right now it feels light just because I'm just not putting it on. But throughout the day, it will get heavier. And then I'm sure I talked about it on the last video, but this is a Klein quick release belt. It's kind of like a Cobra system, but it's a quick release belt from Klein. I replaced it with the one that originally comes with this tool rig. I'm really liking it. I moved my magnetizer up here. On the last video I had it down here, but obviously now I have this pouch. And this magnetizer, I love it just because of the simple fact that I can magnetize, where's the screw? Or a washer, there's a washer. So there, it's magnetized there. And then if I no longer need it magnetized so that it doesn't collect any trash, then it's no longer magnetized. So definitely check that out. But this is how I carry it. This is what it looks on me. Again, by me cutting that pouch, that pocket out of here, it slims this down about 3 inches on this side, which allows me to maneuver through things a lot better. And with this system, I mean, I've already memorized where everything is, so if I'm working, especially if I'm stripping live wires and all that, then I can concentrate on not shorting out onto a box or shocking myself or anything like that. So I can just reach over for my strippers, put them back. I'll keep some wire nuts in this pouch, so I can just grab it and put a wire nut and make it safe. But this is how I carry it. I like carrying my tape up here just because it's easy, readily accessible, and you can see how that spider system works. So you just hit that as you pull up with your thumb, you hit it, your tape is free. You can use it to, string it across to get a measurement. But the way I like using it like this is if I'm measuring conduit, then I can hook it onto the tip of the conduit and make my marks wherever I need them, and it frees up a hand, so you can grab your pencil or your Sharpie and mark out your conduit, and it frees up. You have a free hand, and you can still use it, to measure your height and all that without ever having to take it off. So that's how I use that. And then my impact, the way it sits there, it's easy to grab. Like I said, you can just drop it instead of trying to find the belt clip. You just grab it, grab your nut driver and all that, set it back, switch over to a bit, put an extension in it. If I need to ream a bunch of conduits, then I just take this off, put the reamer on it, set this aside. When I'm done with that, I just switch back and then put my tools away, and I mean everything. This system works for me. I'm very happy with it, so I hope it helps you guys. If you like videos like this, then let me know. I'm gonna keep experimenting with different setups. I mean, that's just what I do. I always try to find the latest and greatest and different systems that work out for people, or that work out for me and that can help people. So with this Milwaukee pouch, is that I carry a clip tech, so I can just clip it on like that, and then if it's just going to be a small task, then I can just grab the tools I need. So for example, I can grab my strippers, and then I can grab my handle for the nut drivers, with the reamer, set that there, grab my nut driver, my flip socket, and with this system alone here, there's a lot you can do. If you need a screwdriver, then you take this off, you grab whatever bit you need, for example a Phillips, and there, I mean that thing is solid, and now you have a screwdriver. If you need it a little bit longer, I have a 3-inch extension, and now, I mean that thing's still solid, it ain't pulling out. Now I have a full-size screwdriver. So this system works out for me. I'm really liking it. Just, like I said, for a quick service call, or if I know I'm just doing, let's say, receps, if I'm going to be doing nothing but trimming out or devicing out, then this is all I need. If I need my impact, I'll grab my impact and put it on me as well. But I hope this video helped you guys a lot. Just as an update, and for newcomers, just to see that you'll never stop learning. Always keep an open mind. The thing about construction is you're always going to learn something new. From newcomers and old timers, like, just keep an open mindset, because even some of these younger guys, you know, we come in with experiences from other places, and there's a lot that can be shared amongst each other. So always keep an open mindset. Don't ever think that you're the one that knows it all, because there's always somebody better, and that's who I like to work with. I like to work with guys that are better, because it motivates me to be even greater. So whenever I'm working with somebody that's burnt out or lazy, then it just kind of makes my day go a lot longer. But anyway, that's a different topic. This is how I carry my system. I'm experimenting with different setups. I may put those nut drivers back just because I love the magnet so much, but I love the fact that it does reduce some weight with the flip socket. So we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated. I'll let you guys know what I think of the new belt suspenders with the gel padding. They're also going to have the across the chest strap, so that should help distribute the weight a lot better, make it more comfortable throughout the day. So I'll keep you guys updated on that. Let me know what other videos you want me to make. If you want me to make individual tool reviews, like longer tool reviews of each tool. Obviously I've had these for years. I have a bunch of other tools that I've set aside that I've tried and I don't like, so I'll be honest about a lot of that stuff. But yeah, thank you for watching this video, and I hope you're having a great day.